We're talking about poor people, girl. Poor people world. All right, we sound good.
Do poor people keep having kids? Why do poor people keep having kids?
All poor people do is have kids. That's all they do, making babies. They ain't got nothing to do in their life. They ain't got no money to go nowhere. They go home. All they got is a warm body to lay next to.
Not only is it irresponsible to have kids knowing you struggling like fuck, but it's selfish.
No, this is the best, dude. This title goes, having multiple kids while struggling should be illegal. No, dude. Oh, the one comment over here goes, they keep having kids because the government keeps cutting them checks per kid. That's the best, man. This is like the big talk. I actually just went to Costa Rica for a week. And we stayed in like not the tourist joint. And so it was just like a lot of like metal tin roofs, like rusted out, like shacks, like shanties, like wild dogs running around. I've never seen that before. Just wild dogs. In America, that's not a thing. Even wild kids, just kids roaming. It's like, whose kid is this? Like, I don't know. Seriously though, it was kind of like, it was a pretty cool perspective on how things are. And I will say, I think this is a bit much, but I will say I am certainly glad that my parents were absolutely not poor, because I did have friends that were poor, like literally. Like I remember my dad had to sit me down one time and go, I'm not gonna say his name, let's call him Ricky. And Ricky was coming over and he goes, now Jack, you gotta know something. He goes, your friend Ricky, his parents are poor. He goes, so I'm going to give you $20 for the arcade. We're going to the arcade. And he goes, and then I'm going to give him $20 for the arcade. And just know that I'm giving him $20 because his parents probably didn't give him any money. But don't say anything to him. And then he goes, and while you're at it, you've got 4 pairs of shoes, so pick which one you want to give to him. And I was like, what? Anyways, just to be fair. Anyway, back to this this thing.
It's literally selfish. If you having a hard time eating, if you having a hard time keeping a roof over your head, if you know you ain't got no support system, you know shit not looking up for you right now, why even put yourself in position? Why even put yourself through that? It's bad enough you about to put the kid through some bullshit that he didn't ask for. And granted, when the kids be small, they don't know they struggling. You know what I'm saying? But you know. And you still decide to go through with that shit. I don't know, man. I kind of look at those people sideways like, okay. Some up here, it ain't always put together. And I ain't judging. You know what I'm saying?
He's not judging. He is. He literally says having multiple kids while struggling should be illegal. Okay, I gotta go to the comments section. I get what they're saying though. Like, I don't think it should be illegal. I'm. You know how old I am. I'm old as fuck. Okay, and I still haven't had kids yet. But in the last 4 years of my life, I felt like, okay, all right. Like if a kid comes along, I can support them. Like I can support people, you know. So I do understand that aspect. Okay, my mom was poor as fuck and had 4 kids and wondered why I'm so angry. You had absolutely nothing to pass on to us. We were still struggling, all because you have a poor management. I told that to her face. What?
Damn.
Could you imagine that? Hold on, I gotta go to the other comment sections. Hold on. This one was the best, though. Right here. Because the government keeps cutting them checks for additional kids. Nestor, look this up. Look up how much will a person on welfare receive per child? Like, how much extra money do they get per kid if they are on, like, food stamps or Section 8, government assistance, stuff like that? Because I know taxes is a lot, dude. You have, like, 3 kids. You don't make a lot of money. You're getting back like $5,000 per kid. Doesn't even matter how much you make. That's the crazy part. Good question. The children end up suffering and people stay relying on the government assistance. It's sad. That seems to be a big one here. The worst financial decision you can make for yourself is children if you can't afford. Followed closely by marrying the wrong person. A lot of times these people aren't even married. It's just the baby mama. The kids got two dads. That's the best, man. That's next level shit. But that's become normal, right? That's become super normal.
It's like the average is $3,600 per child.
That's for the year.
Yeah.
So $3,600 a year. You got 5 kids.
Bowling.
That's a part-time job, dude. That's a part-time gig. That's not that bad. How much do you get back on your taxes per year? Put that per kid. That's what I want to know. An old co-worker has a daughter and son. They each have 5 kids. Neither work. They all just get tons of money from the government assistance and just keep having more kids. Yeah, but it's still rough, dude. I mean, even where we live, me and Nestor, you go into certain pockets, it's a bit rough. Like, it's fine. Don't get me wrong, we're in America. It's not like Costa Rica where literally 10 huts. That's not how bad it is, but we got that tax information?
It looks like about $2,200 per child tax credit.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. So add that to the 3,600. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bing, bam. You're in the pocket, dude.
It's a nice little vacation.
That ain't nothing. Ain't nothing. Okay. The government gives more money to each child this has been created by the United States government. I just left Key West, and there was a sign. There there that was pleading tourists to stop feeding the roosters because they keep becoming aggressive and dependent. We'll fucking kick you in the head, dude.
Angry roosters.
And I thought to myself, that sounds like society today, but with poor people. I'm just kidding. I literally think that it's because they don't know what else to do, because poor people are usually that way because they haven't been exposed to the other opportunities in life. LOL. Most of them have kids before they found passions or hobbies, so having kids becomes the only thing they have to do because nothing else ever occurred to them. Okay. I'm learning a lot today, dude. All right. They're going to say you're promoting eugenics. Be careful. Raising kids in poverty is abuse. I have this argument often. I am told having kids shouldn't be a privilege for the rich. Let me finish the comment. But what about having enough money to feed and clothe them, not just make them struggle? My spouse's ex's baby is on Section 8. She's in a 1-bedroom. He got custody of the one that they share. She's 18 now, and her mom is still having them. It's insane. All right, I'm going to leave the link to all these people down below, but I think a big one is maybe there is some kind of like I don't think you should not have kids. It's kind of the point. Like, sex has become sport. We can all agree on that, right? Sex has become, it's not even what it was supposed to be, was to have kids, and now it's like the opposite of that. Now it's just sex. It's something to do. It's the truth. That's the truth. Okay? So I don't think it's like you shouldn't have kids if you... Here's the big problem, right? A lot of people seem to be blaming this on government assistance. Okay, so if you take away government assistance, then I would assume most people probably wouldn't just be having kids. They'd be so careful with sex, it wouldn't even be funny. When I wear a condom, I'd be wrapping up my balls too. Put it that way. Okay? I'd wear a Magnum. Wrap up my balls too, bro. Can't be too careful out here. I think that's how far it would go. So yeah, maybe the public government assistance is... Look up this. Let's end on this note. Nestor, tell me this. Is put up in countries outside of America, is there such thing as a government assistance, such as food stamps, Section 8, things of that nature? Check that out. That's what I really want to know. Because I went to a school, my middle school growing up. It was this weird, odd private school called Haverhill Baptist Day School. Now, you had to pay to go there, but it was based on your income level. And it was like a Christian school, so there was also like the faith had to be involved. But they took a lot of people in who didn't have money. This wasn't like a big school for profit. It was very ghetto. It was a very weird establishment. I remember being like, it was odd. And so we had a lot of people that came to our school that lived nearby in the trailer parks or in the Section 8 housing, and they would take in these people. And that was something I noticed, and I would go to, I got to reach out to her. Her name was Amber, but I remember they lived in this little shack, and her dad was like white hillbilly kind of guy, cool guy, but like she was like 12 and fending for herself. Like she knew how to cook meals. Like she was in charge of the house. He was never home. So sometimes we would go over there after school in middle school. And I remember being like, yo, this chick is like this is gnarly. I got to reach out to her. I wonder how she's doing.
Some countries that are notable for their government assistance programs, countries like Canada, Germany, and Japan. For example, Japan offers public assistance programs including basic living expenses, housing, education, healthcare, and funerals. Canada looks like it has something really similar to how America operates.
Okay, but
it does exist in other countries.
But it's not like everywhere.
No, and it varies. In the
Okay.
specific types and levels of assistance.
Yeah, because when you see this shit in especially like when I went to Costa Rica firsthand, people didn't look like all the people in the poor areas, which was most of the areas. I don't think they're getting any help. Like I didn't even see any police. It was kind of cool. Like driving, I was like, there's no cops. It was like it's kind of lawless almost, Pura vida. They kept saying that. I think I was using that phrase wrong at some point. I just was saying it as thank you. But I got to the point where I was like, I thought this was pure vida, bro. Anytime we had a problem. Anyways, I don't know. I don't care. Have all the kids you want. But I would be willing to bet if they cut out the government assistance when it comes to per kid deal, people would be way careful with that shit. Way careful. Anyways, hell of a talk. Getting the hell out of here. Not sure you good?
Yeah, love you guys.
All right. I'm going to go have unprotected sex now.